If you like cozy games, you probably love Katamari Damacy. All you do is just roll and roll and roll to your heart's content. Of course, while completing some objectives, such as doing it as fast or as big as possible. Your Katamari starts as the size of a pin, and growing big enough to roll up people, buildings, and eventually land masses itself is such addictive, rewarding gameplay. The Katamari Damacy series is generally quirky and eccentric in a good way. It's a game that doesn't take itself seriously, and it shouldn't. You don't play Katamari for the plot, you play it because the gameplay is so good that it's therapeutic. For those uninitiated in the ways of Katamari, the core gameplay loop is rolling around and collecting anything you can in the world. The bigger you get, the bigger sized items you can collect as you become a big ball of everything in your path. It's simple and addictive. You play as the prince, the son of the king of the cosmos. The levels have many challenges to shake things up. Sometimes you need to find your cousins, for example. There are numerous dynamic and varied ways challenges present themselves, all within the core gameplay loop of rolling, collecting, and growing. Where does the latest console release stand? Well, I found it to be the best Katamari game ever, especially for newcomers.
Roll it, DJ.
First things first, one of the highlights of the Katamari series is its addictive, catchy music. It's the kind of soundtrack you'd want to play in the background while doing chores, discarding books at the library, or any other menial task. Once Upon a Katamari continues this tradition of catchy music, which is themed to whatever time period you travel to. For instance, during the Edo period, I occasionally felt as though I was hearing a motif in Silent Hill F, albeit in a much happier context. If you're somehow not a fan of this entry in the series' music, the game also has some tracks from other titles in the series. Say you have a particular track you like from Katamari Forever, there's a good chance you can play that. Once Upon a Katamari doesn't have all the songs from previous games, but it's a solid selection for the nostalgics.
A ball of whimsy.
The graphics in the Katamari games have generally remained the same throughout the series. The bright colors, combined with catchy tunes, help to set the whimsical tone that the series is known for. The cousins hiding around the different maps have their own unique characteristics, but the king and queen of the cosmos, of course, are the most detailed. One change from previous Katamari titles is that we've got a narrator explaining the plot as we roll. This is accompanied by whimsical movies spread across the game, showing a day in the life of the king and queen's universe. In previous entries, you're just thrown into the chaos without much of an explanation. Now, even if nobody really plays Katamari for the plot, this time you know why you're rolling about. Once Upon a Katamari doesn't have all the songs from previous games, but it's a solid selection for the nostalgics. Once again, we're met with wonderful, quirky cutscenes in between the action. Katamari has its own unique, eccentric sense of humor you can't help but appreciate, and it shines yet again in this game. There's nothing quite like the king giving you instructions and beginning to roll anyway, as he comments on being ignored. Even the way you load a saved game is still unique compared to other games in that you roll to your save slot that's grouped into one set of characters.
Katamari through time.
In most Katamari games, you're in present-day Japan, rolling everything and everyone. This time around, the plot features a time travel mechanic that adds an excellent touch, allowing you to visit periods from the Jurassic to Edo Japan. Each era has its own unique levels, such as watering the desert in ancient Egypt or granting the pharaoh's requests. You're rolling up dinosaurs during the Jurassic period or Greek philosophers in ancient Greece. In the Wild West, you're getting as much gold as you can. There's now logic to the traditional Katamari insanity. A majority of the levels take place in Edo, Japan, which feels right at home after playing Ghost of Yotei. While some time periods definitely could have used some more levels, what we did get was charming and fun enough to play. Quests or missions in Katamari are given to you by a request from someone in the map asking you for a favor. It's quirky how a request for roses to give to a lover translates to, go roll up all these roses lying about in ancient Greece, and the time travel adds an extra layer of silliness. Any mission that you complete becomes a planet in the cosmos as part of the overall lore in the series. Of course, you have the usual Katamari Damacy quests that veterans of the series know and love, such as rolling as fast as possible or as big as you can. These consist of reaching a certain target under a par time. There's a ranking system to these tasks this time around, with scores ranging from D to S rank. Finally, there's the new multiplayer level called Katamari Ball, which adds even more whimsical rolling fun to play against friends or strangers. You can put your rolling skills to the test to measure how you stack against others. It's a clever way to introduce multiplayer features to the game without moving away from the core experience, but it's not required in any way if you prefer playing solo.
A smoother rolling experience.
One of the game's highlights is the quality of life upgrades they've added. From the get-go, you're given a comprehensive tutorial on how to play the game, instead of just being thrown into the chaos. The gameplay can be set to the usual style that veterans know, or a new way of playing designed for beginners or those looking to mix things up. There are new additions to the gameplay, such as a magnet that adds nearby objects you can roll near you. There's a clock you can pick up that stops time, saving you a few extra seconds and potentially turning an A into an S rank, for example. There's also a radar, which makes it helpful to locate cousins, presents, or crowns. To platinum the game and unlock secret levels, you need to find all 3 crowns in each level. While the crowns are generally easy to locate, they are sometimes hidden away in unexpected locations, so the radar makes it even easier. If you've played a level before, the game practically throws the radar on your face, which is a nice touch for completionist runs. While some time periods definitely could have used some more levels, what we did get was charming and fun enough to play. The best new feature, though, is the ability to customize your appearance. In previous Katamari games, you could switch from the prince to play as any one of your cousins. While you can still do that, this time around, collecting the presents and finding your cousins makes the effort worthwhile. You can change the colors of the prince or any of the cousins to your liking, which helps to fully immerse you in the whimsical world of Katamari. With the presents, you can equip them on your head, face, or body to customize your appearance however you like. Being able to name your own creations, especially if you decide to make a self-avatar, makes getting chewed out by the king more hilarious. Completing challenges and levels grants you tokens, which you can use at the gacha-like king statue to get even more expressions and customizations. Never in a Katamari game have I felt so invested in finding every cousin and present, solely for the sake of customization. In other games in the series, I'm just happy to finish the level and move on to the next one. I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing all the characters everyone else will make and share. Closing comments. Bandai Namco really hit a home run with this latest entry in the Katamari Damacy series. It's calming, cozy, and whimsical. In other words, everything you expect from a Katamari game. The time travel theme works well, and the ability to customize your appearance based on your gameplay performance really sells it. Once Upon a Katamari is now my favorite entry in the series, setting new standards and introducing mechanics that I hope will become franchise staples. This is a perfect introduction to the series for newcomers, while also making veterans very happy.